So I just wanted to do a quick story time of why I left my most recent job. Um, I have actually quite a few stories about this place and just what kind of led up to my final just done with it attitude. Um, but I'll just do this video with why I left. So we had this big IT. I was a shipping clerk at this trucking company who would deliver to like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. I was the shipping clerk, so I would see the drivers, I would hand them their paperwork, all that good stuff. Um, we had a new system being implemented, and instead of it taking a few days to work out the the flaws and stuff, it turned into weeks. And what that kind of entailed for all the rest of us was 7-day work weeks, which we're only supposed to really work Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturdays, but they try to get us in there on Saturdays a lot. Um, but yeah, so 7 days a week for weeks on end and no end in sight. And I was dealing with it very badly because I usually need time to de-stress, decompress, and just going home at night and going back into work the next day and having to deal with the issues was not cutting it. And when I mean like the issues, I mean like anytime you had to scan something, an issue, like there would be an error and they'd have to shut everything down, get all the IT in there, see what's going on with it, and try to fix it. And this isn't like a quick fix. It would take hours to do this. Which some people would be like, yay, you don't have to do anything at work all day. No, I mean, I was dealing with angry drivers wondering why they couldn't get their load, which was supposed to essentially be picked up after like a day, and it's still sitting there 5 days later, and I'm having to deal with that along with anything that I try to do in the office. It's not getting completed or done because of every fucking roadblock this issue, like the system was putting in our way. And so, at this point, I've been working like quite a few weeks in a row, 7 days a week. And my son, he's special needs, so I really need to be with him, um, you know. And my fiance, he works nights. So I'm going to bed before he even gets home from work. So for weeks, I didn't even speak 2 words to my fiance because we never saw each other in those few weeks. And I lost my mind on a Saturday, and I said to my boss, who I love my boss to death. I still do. He's a great boss. I just know it was out of his hands. Um, that I was like, look, I can't, if this is going to be the foreseeable future, I need this weekend. I took off the rest of that Saturday. I took off that Sunday. I said, I don't give a fuck about the points. I need to de-stress. I need to get away from this for at least a day or two. And then I came back Monday and I got 2 write-ups from HR because I had hit my 6th and 7th point. And you can only get 8 points before you're fired. So those were 2 write-ups, so I had to do that. I was sitting right at 7.5 points. So I knew I wasn't going to be lasting long anyway. And I told my boss, honestly, and I asked them, I said, they let me know right then and there. They're like, this is going to be a foreseeable future thing. And I said, like, into the new year, like, you're going to be working people 7 days a week into the new, and this is like, at the time, this was like October, or no, November, the very beginning of November. And this had been going on all through the month of October. And I said, so this is going to be continuing to be a thing all the way into the new year. And they were like, most likely, yeah. And I said, fuck that. Fuck all that shit. I said, I went back to my office pissed, but I went back to my office and I texted my boss and I let him know, look, it goes without saying, you're going to have to find a new shipping clerk. And I just didn't show up the next day. And I do not regret the decision. I liked the job. I just didn't like how and I had a coworker come up to me. She's an older lady. She'd been working there for decades, and she said, well, we're used to this. We're used to working 7 days a week for months on end. Just think of the overtime. Just think of the pay. And I'm like, that may work all fine and dandy for you, but that does not work for me. I need to be with my son. I need to see my son at least, and spend time with him. Like, because when I would come home, I think the only thing I would really be able to do with my son is like get his dinner ready, watch a little bit of TV, and then he'd go to bed. Like there was no going to the park, this, that, and the other or whatever, because I have no energy for it. And this is going all the way through the weekend too. So, but he would go to like the sitter. He would get to play with other kids at the sitter's house. My mom would take care of him a lot of the time at her house. So he was getting activities. He was doing things. And I couldn't do it no more. And like I said, I have a few. I was gonna say that I live in Mississippi. It's a right to work, like a right to work state, which means the job can essentially be like, this is what we're doing, and if you don't like it, we can fire you. Like, usually there's like a 3 strikes and you're out rule when it comes to jobs. Not in Mississippi. Mississippi can just be like, I don't like you no more. Bye. I don't have to give you an explanation. It's some assholery, I know, but whatever. So there was nothing we could do about this 7 days a week shit. There was nothing. So I just said, fuck it. I'm out. I'm not going to be stressing myself. I already have enough stress in my life outside of work. Like, I'm not going to stress myself out even further. So no regrets in doing all that shit. But yeah, if you and I just had to cut my losses, and but yeah, if y'all want to hear any of the other, I have a really good one that I know I'm going to be uploading about this bitch that was a pathological liar, and who was actually really close to me, and that really fucked me over. But I got that one coming up if y'all want to hear about that, and there was a couple of other crazy situations that I would love to share. But anyway, just let me know what y'all think. If y'all want a part 2, part whatever, hear more about this crazy shit that happened there, I'd be more than happy to fill you in.